Does your ex miss you? I love these kind of readings because I sound really vindictive as a reader, but the reason why I love these readings is because on a human level, and maybe, you know, on a subconscious psychic level, I don't know, but I definitely know on a human level, I like that feeling of knowing when somebody has hurt you to the capacity that I'm picking up, that it's nice to know that actually, you know what? Yes, they do miss you, but you've probably moved on to better pastures and stuff. So it's kind of like translated going, they are now living their karma. And I kind of feel in some ways I've gone and answered the questions in these few sentences, but let's have some fun and let's look into your ex, what's going on for them, and what it is that they're missing. And am I doing this reading for people who are hoping their ex will come back? Let me say the word no, because in which case, please go and check out my other readings relating to exes, because I don't think it applies to you, and I don't feel that you're going to get the message that you want to hear. For those people who have let go of their ex and have moved on, but out of curiosity, kind of want to get a feel for what's going on in their lives, let's have some fun and let's have a sneak peek at what's going on in their lives. Well, I certainly know what's going on in your life because you've got the Star card, you've got the Three of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and you yourself are the High Priestess. So that is already telling me, as I've said, that you have moved forward. You are now, and moved forward doesn't necessarily mean that you've moved into another relationship. If you have, I'm joyfully happy for you. But moving on just basically means that you've released that energy, you've released that attachment, you've let go of an outcome or probability of this, of wanting to be with the ex. And you've made that decision and you've taken that power on. It's not that that decision was made for you. It might have been with the ex rejecting you, walking away, somehow hurting you. But once you dealt with that rejection, that hurt, tears, everything, you then picked yourself up and went, okay, that's the way life is. Let's move forward. And because you did that, your ex was not expecting it. Now, that may be news to you because all you've done is just move forward, gone, okay, that's the way it is. I'm just going to go on. Your ex, on an ego way, actually expected and hoped that you would be coming back, that you would be knocking on their door, begging them, pleading, saying, no, you didn't mean it. I know you didn't mean it. You know, all of that kind of pleading things, that they were sitting in an ego state where they really hoped that you would be doing that. And as the months went forward and there was nothing coming back from you in the sense of no communication, no text, no phone calls, no little, you know, nudges, just testing the waters, none of those things were coming in from you. You were just focused on you, your healing, your self-care, your moving forward, you building your, you know, new life. And with that full knowledge that they had told you to F off, and then that's basically what it meant, F off. Not F off, the door is open, please come back in and beg for me, but F off means F off. When you've kind of had your door slammed in your face to that level, then you, and again, this is not an insult in any way whatsoever, but you are then sitting in a very low vibration if you then go back to a person who's equally in a very low vibration, begging for their attention and wanting and hoping that the door is still open. So I'm just really glad that you actually raised your vibration to a point where your ex could not reach you, because your vibration went beyond theirs. Your vibration was always high anyway. It's not like you were low, but you went beyond even that, to the point that your ex could not reach you, to the point that your ex's insecurities set in. And they did think to reach out. They contemplated that over and over and over and over again. And I'm not saying that they're still not doing it. And I don't know how many months, years, forward we could be talking about, but the timeline will resonate with you. But they know that if they were to step forward, one, you will never, ever, ever accept them back on a romantic capacity of any kind. Two, they will have to have a bloody good reason or way to come back to you where you would be open to having a conversation with them. And all of a sudden I kind of went, but I'm meant to be talking about what's going on with them, not necessarily, how you're going to be dealing with it. So let's get back onto what's going on with them in this time where you chose to walk away because they instigated it, you just followed suit. Their life, I look at your cards and honestly, it is so rosy. It is really good. And I'm so happy everything you have been, Wheel of Fortune, everything is working in your favor, divine timing, lots of things coming together. Their life, not so much. Their life feels like struggle, feels like the ego is shattering. And the ego, not completely shattering, but shattering just in the situation regarding you two. Their ego, will be there until the end of time because they don't want to be addressing things. Their ego will keep on, again, strategic, hangman. See the eagle? That's their ego. It will keep on soaring, regardless of the fact that they may feel drained, internally, whatever else may be going on. That's not going to completely humble them in your situation. I'm not talking about them in general life. That might humble them on that level, but where the situation was between you two. They want the best for you. I'm not going to take that away from them. They really do. They want all the goodness for you. Equally, you want that for them as well, because you've moved on. You're not sitting there, with voodoo dolls, stabbing them or anything like that. No, you've fully moved on. So yes, you hope that whatever they're doing in their lives, they're happy, because then energy-wise, that keeps harmony. But one thing they took for granted and did not realize until you moved away, and I'm talking in terms of energy-wise, you might have physically moved away, I don't know, but energy-wise, when you moved your energy away from theirs, they did not realize the light that you brought to their life. And when I talk about light, I'm talking about, because remember, you're the high priestess, you brought in that positivity, you brought in that magnetic energy that also then allowed them to have lots of opportunities and goodness and everything else coming into their lives, which they mistook. In some cases, of course, it was due to their own self and hard work and everything, but there was a huge amount that came due to you as well. Because one thing about relationships is that when you have, and this sounds so contradictory, but that's only because they missed the opportunity. It's nothing to do with the way the energy works and the way the universe works. But when we meet the right person, then we bring our own good energies to the table that supports and helps each other, and that helps to elevate each other's lives, and all of that kind of thing. So it's I'm Indian, as in from India, Indian. And one of the sayings that we have is that when certain people come into your lives, they either bring good luck or they bring bad luck. And this is basically what happened. You, when you met this person, were around this person, were friends with this person, you brought that luck. Not saying they didn't equally bring it either, but they did. And both of you helped one another without knowing, on an energy level, on so many other levels. But when you both parted, then equally the energies went as well. And as a result of this, your person, since you've exited from their lives, has been struggling because they've not dealt with their inner demons. They've not dealt and done the inner work that they should have been doing way before you even met them. Don't get me wrong, they're not sitting there penniless, they're not sitting there all woeful and everything. They are getting on with their lives, but there's a definite loss. The connection, the person, the goodness, the energy, all of those things that are within you, they know they will never find in another person. The relationship, friendship, companionship, everything else, support, love, whatever you want to be throwing into the basket that you bought, they will never, ever, and I can say that quite confidently because it's coming from their guides, your guides, and everybody else's guides, they will never, ever experience that level of connection with anyone else in this lifetime. That is a huge thing to say for anybody, because it's like putting a stamp on their energy going, no, you can't have that, but I'm not the one controlling it. I'm not the one who's I'm saying it, but I'm not saying it, because it's a download that's coming. Because on a human level, I wish, every ex, because they're still a person on a journey, all the best, healing and everything. But that's basically what it's being said. So this is a little scope of where your ex is at. Yes, they've moved on in the context that, yes, they're getting on with life. Yes, they are happy-ish, with whatever it is that they're doing. Do they have somebody around them? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes for some, no for others. That's why I'm saying I'm pretty sure. But it's just that context of, yes, they have moved on to the capacity that they can control, because it means that they don't have to be vulnerable. They don't need to let their guard down. They are totally in control, and they are doing and living life the way that they want, which feels very isolating, which feels very lonely, which feels very burying your head in the sand kind of living. But if that's what they're happy with, then that's what they're happy with. But the message to you is that it was never meant to work with this person, for the simple fact that this person was never going to allow it to work. So it's not necessarily what you've done, it's just the fact that you and your energy moved way ahead and theirs didn't. So I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear regarding the ex, but I also know that you've moved on, so it's okay. You're both exactly where you are meant to be, on the greatest journey that you're meant to be. And with all of those things said, I want to say I will see you next time, but I also want to give you a reminder of, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you wish to book a more detailed reading, more about yourself or anything else, or even if you want to look into any exes, I'm open to that. Links are in my bio. And also check out our shop, Mystique and Manifest. And with all of those things said, I'll see you next time.